starting. ... There we go.
It says live.
I'll start recording with my phone, the screen on my iPad. All right, we're good?
Yeah, we're good.
I guess. Can you guys see me? Somebody's in a tornado. A little bit of a hurricane going.
Yeah, I hear a lot of wind. Okay, it stops now. Okay, so who's going to start with, we're just going to start on chapter 12?
Stacy, Beck, you want to start at the top?
Chapter 12 was like IT, right? Here.
Yeah,
yeah, well, because I was reading about it, like technology, so where it was like communication, like what do we choose for communication? And originally I said email, but that's just so we would have something to refer to. And then when we decided we were going to text quite a bit, I totally didn't realize that my phone was set to delete 10 MMS messages. So in the beginning, I couldn't go back and look at anything because it was just automatically, everything we do is an MMS because it's group. So I thought that was kind of cool, the IT part of it also, because the social behavior, and we had mentioned this before, you just feel like when you're in front of someone, like, oh, that it's going to be more accountable because you're like with people, like face to face. But this has been pretty fun. Like, I really appreciate everyone on this team. That we all had our own little notions going into it, but it's been pretty fun. We can see each other. I mean, I honestly can't discount this because, like, this is where I spend all my time with my grandson. It's like 2,000 miles away.
Right.
And we have to be satisfied with, like, this is better than maybe a phone conference for sure,
Oh,
right. I actually, so we're on chapter 13, but I was, whenever I was reading about the virtual teams, I found that they can actually sometimes be better. And one of the reasons was because of the level of empowerment. And I think that that's been very, very good in our team. The level of empowerment that we all feel that we have on each and every task that we've taken on, or even not even just a task, but just empowerment to give our, like, our ideas and everything like that as well.
Right.
And then the trust, I went along with that, the virtual team, the trust, just trusting each of us is going to do their parts and be held accountable for the team and, each part that we do in.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So I saw the trust, reading trust, just as I've, just as I associate with like the people I work with, and I tell them like kind of what we're doing. So I think I've heard a few of you say that you've done these before. I've never done them, and in work, I trust people, but sometimes I probably give more doubt than I do benefit to, when things need to get done, and they've following up with me like, hey, how are you doing with a team that everybody has different responsibilities, you're only meeting via video call, and even before our grade was posted, I was like, you know what, and a lot of it is hypothetical in terms of we're making it real, but it's not. We've done a pretty great job at done, and really trusting each other that we're going to post that assignment, and when somebody takes that assignment, they're going to get it done. So
right.
I couldn't help but think of that as I was reading about the honesty and trust and making sure we get it done.
No, I agree. going along with that, I have I've highlighted in here the 4 steps to demonstrate integrity on the team, and I think that we've all done this. It's being truthful and forthright without being obnoxious. So providing each other with honest feedback, we've all done that very, very respectfully, to the point where we can just obviously get the best answer to all of our questions that we've had. And then avoid sarcasm and joking and teasing in your distant interactions. I think we kind of like ended that, not that we were joking with each other, but as far as texting, I think in the beginning we kind of misunderstood each other a couple times, and I think that we handled that very quickly and just decided not to put anything with question on there. So I think we did a good job of that. Then maintaining confidence, obviously not spreading gossip. We don't have any gossip to spread about one another.
Exactly. I hope not. Jeez.
And then handling sensitive material appropriately. I think after we got our CTF round 1 grade, we handled, none of us were happy with that. So I think we handled that as a team very, very, very well and moved on well.
And moved on and knew what we needed to do in the next rounds to get a better score.
Yep.
Kind of like a practice run.
It was kind of like a practice.
Yeah. And going along with that page, the part about virtual distance in chapter 13, it's a lot more difficult with all of us being in different areas, meetings, and our different schedules and stuff. But I think we've done a good job nailing plans down, not being in the same place, whether it be on this or through text messaging. I think we've done a good job.
Right. Like even just this past meeting, we kind of like had to change it up last minute on when we were going to. But we figured out when it all worked for us and made it work.
Yeah, it's nice that everybody's able to be flexible.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, look at us now.
To a certain extent.
Yeah.
Stacy's driving.
I know. There's only 3 spots over here for this department, and I'm like holding up the girl that's trying to come in right now. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's fine. I was just hoping you weren't driving too far.
I think that's probably this right here is, I'm sure somebody would be like, hey, don't do that drive, but of course I'm hooked into my Bluetooth or whatever, but I wanted to hit on that too, because even though we're in the same country, Evan and I are in the same time zone. Wait, Paige, I guess you and Evan and I are right now.
Yeah. Kelsey,
Same time.
Yeah, just me. I'm the only one in Central Time.
Yeah, just a few months shy of it would have been two of you guys are on 2 different times, and then all of us would have been on different times. So, but I know, so that's kind of a fun thing. But I've worked in situations like that before where I dealt with people that were on the other side of the planet. It was not always easy because you're like, okay, yeah, well, I'll meet you then. Call me, wake me up, because it's going to be like 2 o'clock in the morning where I am.
Right.
So for chapter 12, though, I'm sure that we're all different. Not so much culturally, but then maybe again culturally. But I just really didn't see that anything in chapter 12 hit me very hard.
It was kind of hard to find things in chapter 12 that I felt like worked with or was true to our team, because like you said, I feel like we are kind of similar to one another.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the only thing that I found in chapter 12 is where it talked about in groups and what was the other one, out group or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just put that we're in an in group where we're the same team working together for one goal. So
right.
That's basically all I pulled out of chapter 12.
I think as far as having a conflict and being we're all forced with the same goal. Like there's no way we can get out of that. So I think by being in group like that, we've kind of like not had to deal with some of the things in chapter 12.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that.
Yep.
I literally highlighted this this group accomplished, a single member could achieve. Like literally, without one another, we would not have been able to. I mean, I guess technically we would have been able to, but not with the way we laid out the structure for the assignment.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or we just
Right.
would have had more work to do per person, but
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep. One thing on chapter 13, I know our last round 2, Dr. Lane had touched on, I guess, using collective cultures, we, us, and ours, since we are a team, instead of using that individualistic I and me and things like that. Something for us to keep an eye on for this next round.
Yeah, for our
Something
team
that he
identity,
did mention.
in that language.
Yeah, and even not even just the team identity. I mean, I did it in mine as well. So just all of us, something to keep an eye on for this next round.
Yeah, that's a good
yeah.
point.
Yeah, to make it all of us.
Yeah, like
Right,
literally,
yeah.
like I should have just taken what you guys sent me and like wrote it as if we were all just one brain.
Yeah, that's hard though. That's not easy to do.
No.
Well, I mean, I didn't really like know it had to be like that. We all were already we all already did the team reflection, so I don't know. But I have a better understanding now for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just the point I was gonna make, I know this isn't necessarily what our reading is for, but in all the articles that I've read from like the Tuvalan people and all their stances, all of their stances like on why they want to stay. It's interesting that like when they're like president type person is speaking, it's always like, you know, you think of how, you know, far these islands are. You know, there's 10,000 people, but yet every time he's like, you know what, we want to stay. We, the people of Tuvalu, seek to do these things. It's very like to the point. It's very group minded. It's very this one
Collective.
stance that I want to keep 10,000 people here. It's no, you know, we've spoken. Everybody would like here, and you know, we propose these things on how we can have a better life here.
Yeah.
So I also, kind of compared that to just all the articles I've been reading.
Have you, well, that's a whole nother subject, but I was going to say one thing I noticed the other day, and I had just read about it in a couple different places actually, and for another class. And it was that page, it was about like, we, you know, like collective, like it's we, like we're a group, like the Chalupians, right?
Yeah.
I flipped on the news, which I really don't watch that much, and there was our president who was talking about my military, and I was thinking, you know what? That's ours.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
So I'm thinking, this guy from the top down is like me, and so I feel like if you took us apart and had thought about each of us as leaders, I really don't think that any of us would be that way, like me, mine, you know?
Right.
This is why I'm having fun with this group, because it really is. Evan, you're a lucky guy. You're a lucky guy. If this is your first team experiment and it's going like this, because I have to say that round 2 we rocked it.
Oh,
We
yeah.
did.
So
We definitely did.
yeah.
Well, yeah, and I would say, I personally, even though this is going extremely well, I honestly feel I would, at all costs, just possible in terms of like, if I knew that a program was going to be in on a team, I mean, it's a numbers game. I'm sure that there's going to be half that do really well and half that do terribly, and I don't like taking chances like that. So I'll say that if you guys are my only team class, that I'm really grateful for you all.
Yeah.
And it's almost kind of bad for me that if I do ever get into another class and it tanks, I'm just going to be like, you know what? You guys are terrible, you know? So, yeah.
But you'll have so many ideas and ways to let them know on how to make a team successful.
Well,
Very
Yep.
true.
yeah, true. I guess when you say it like that, Paige, feel terrible, but yeah, that would be.
Well, I think that's what, more than anything, what he wanted us to take from this class is to be successful on a team and successfully work with one another, because he realizes that this is what we're going to be doing for the rest of our lives, like
Right.
after we leave class and stuff. So, I mean, I think being honest, awesome, successful team has obviously along with the book. So being able to really see your teammates do these things that make up a successful team, that's what's really taught me, and obviously reading as well. But being a part of a successful team has helped me more than anything.
I think I have
Agreed.
to add to that by saying that me too, like, you know, sometimes when you have a bad experience, it's like, oh, and you know, he addressed it in the beginning, like, oh no, team. If any of you are thinking, oh, the team, you know, it's like it really has restored my faith in humanity.
Same.
We're not gonna go that far, but you know what I'm saying. Like, I really,
Yeah.
yeah.
Hey, I'm not going to get off. I'm just going to take 2 minutes. I have this, I have a very important person that keeps calling me, but they only have one question. So I'm just going to mute it.
Yeah, no problem.
Right back on. Okay.
Okay.
I think you think we're good on stopping the broadcast, because I think we're good on discussion, unless
Yeah, I
we
think we're good with that. Just need to discuss how we want to split up the rounds. So